Maggie, can you come up here, please?
How can you move us across the country?
What's wrong with this house?
There's a toilet in the kitchen.
Maggie, what's under your hands?
Those are the sparkles from the water music.
Have you heard of something called synesthesia?
I don't think it's normal.
Everyone's got something. You can see and hear and feel colors. That really is cool.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to Ultrasonic Film. As always, I'm your host, James, talking about movies, and more movies. I have two very special guests on the show right now. Nicola Rose, welcome to Ultrasonic Film.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. And Colin Mochrie, welcome to Ultrasonic Film.
Thanks for having me.
It's great to have both of you here. Now, Nicola, you are the writer-director of the new film Magnetosphere, and Colin, you are co-starring in the film as well. I got to ask you guys, this is quite an ambitious project. So first up there, you've got Colin Mochrie, you've got Patrick McKenna. Was there a lot of improv opportunities for these veterans in the film?
I tried to use that wherever I could because it would be pretty dumb of me to have them on set and not at some point call upon, their best skill. There are a number of lines in the movie that came from somebody else's brain other than mine, which is why you see a little at the very end, blink and you miss it, but there's additional material by under my screenplay credit because, it kind of needed to be there. It's usually a button on a scene. It's usually kind of the best thing that ends a scene, often between the two guys. But, one thing that I get asked a ton is, did they just run wild with this and go crazy and do so much improv on your set? And people don't realize that, these are professional actors. Their job is to do the work that's been given to them. They aren't going to do that unless I explicitly say, hey, I'm going to need something from you here. And I did. But people don't realize, I think, that unless somebody explicitly says, do this, they're never going to do that.
When did you first receive the script for Magnetosphere? When did you first hear about the project?
People she had contacted who apparently are supposed to represent me. I never got the message. So I think the first time I was doing a show off Broadway in New York, and she came and we met and she explained this, and then I got the script fairly soon. Actually, I think we connected through the musician on the show, John Hilson.
Yes, because I wanted him to do music on a project, and yeah.
From there, we had a couple of meetings, and making a movie, it just happened so quickly. All these hoops you have to go through. And then, we ended up doing it. And it was great. We shot up here in Canada, which was nice. Great cast. My wife was one of the characters. So it was a nice shoot. It was a lot of fun.
I really connected to the teen angst. I felt it was incredibly real. You have a terrific actress in Shailene Martin doing that in the film. I have to ask you, is it biographical a bit? Because those raw emotions come across the screen just beautifully in Magnetosphere.
I wouldn't say it's autobiographical. A lot of people have asked me that, I think, wanting the answer to be yes. And the thing is, it really isn't. I did one before this that was semi-autobiographical, and really, when you come down to it, nobody cares about your life. So I'm glad I got that out of my system the first time. But I also, come to think of it, wrote the original story that became Magnetosphere when I was 15 years old. So, it's kind of, there's some framework that's kind of how I would have naturally thought at the time.
So I have to, of course, ask, were there any challenges blending live action with animation? That's a very ambitious thing to do in a feature like this.
Yeah, it's basically impossible to do. And I'm surprised that we got it halfway right. It is very difficult because it starts with drawing, which I do terribly, and then I show the drawings to somebody who, actually draws well, and that person then takes it to their team of animators and cartoonists and says, hey, can we do something that approximates this? So it goes through many levels of translation or abstraction before finally, becoming what it is. And we were very lucky, but that was stressful. That was a long process.
I could certainly imagine. Colin, of course, you have a lot of experience with Whose Line Is It Anyway? But I'm kind of curious, Were there certain moments, certain lines in the film where it was difficult to keep a straight face, or perhaps with the fellow actors, it was difficult for them to keep a straight face?
I as a true professional, James, I just want to say I don't break up because I'm so invested in the character. Also, I was drunk half the time, but I was really no. I mean, I think usually whenever there would be a slight breaking up, it's usually when something goes wrong, when you either say a line wrong or you just that horrible moment where you know your response is coming up and you have no idea what it is, and your mind is just racing. What is what? But other than that, I think we all kept our cools and were very professional. And it was, I mean, Patrick McKenna, who most of my scenes are with, I've known Patrick for years. He's a really good friend of mine. We were at Second City together. We've improvised a lot together. So I think we've managed to sort of bring that relationship on screen without actually having to, you know, go wild and destroy the script. We tried to bring the sort of the sense of play and improv into the scripted scenes that we had.
Have you had an opportunity to see this film with a live audience as of yet and to get their reaction? I would imagine that would be quite a powerful experience.
Yeah, there have been a few opportunities. Let me think back. Since we had a particularly long route this time because with smaller indies, it's usually a little more of a straight line. But you know, between we actually shot it like 2 years ago, right about exactly 2 years ago, and now it's distribution. Yeah, the interesting thing about seeing it with different audiences is has been discovering the lines that are, you know, audiences are not consistent and audiences tell me everything I need to know all at the same time. So, you know, you need a few and to kind of start getting some data. The best audience that I had for this was an audience of kids, about 150 or 200 kids in, I would say grades 6 and 7. So exactly the people who will let you know you suck if they think that. And so I was sitting there like, oh, here we go. You know, sort of, you know, I had accepted my fate, was basically ready for the execution. And instead, those guys blew the roof off the place. They were so invested. There is a place where a bully, it's not an act of assault exactly, but she physically gets her comeuppance. And they screamed, they cheered so loud that I think somebody actually stopped the movie for a minute. And I was just like, oh my God, they think it's real. It's like, watching, I did not expect that. And anytime Stephen He appeared on screen, then they lost their minds. Anything that hinted of any sexual tension at all, they lost their minds. And they were amazing. I think somebody had me sign his sneaker afterwards. I was like,
Oh.
this will get you nowhere in life, child, but okay. Anyway.
Well, I certainly believe that because, again, a lot of those sequences are very raw. They feel incredibly real. So great job on that. Colin, I have to ask, of course, you've had both mainstream huge productions that you've been part of and, of course, indies as well. Is there a preference that you like to do? I would imagine with indie films, there's a little bit more passion. It can be a little bit more personal.
Absolutely. I mean, I would love someday someone coming up and going, hey, we're doing a movie, money is no object. I have never, ever had that ever in my career. But the upside is with independent productions, there is the passion. Everyone goes above and beyond what what sometimes you find on a big budget production. And because there's also time constraints and there's there's always sort of money issues. So everyone's thinking of, okay, how can we do this so it looks the best it can be with what we have? So it makes it exciting and fun. It's almost like guerrilla theater at times.
Colin, what is your future projects? What do you have coming up next?
I have 2 different tours. One is with Brad Sherwood, who has been on Whose Line for years. Go to colinandbradshow.com to check out if we're near you. Also, I do a show called Hipprov, where I work with a hypnotist, and he hypnotizes audience members, and then I improvise with them. Hipprov.com. I'll be going to the Edmonton Fringe Festival in August. I'm also attached to like 5 different TV shows, which if they all actually happen, I'm screwed. But one just got the green light, so I thought, okay. So we'll see what happens. The beauty of my career is there's no rhyme or reason. It truly is I'm just going along and stuff happens. So it's worked out nicely for me.
Certainly sounds good. And Nicola Rose, what have you got coming up next?
I don't at the moment. I'm taking a break. But what I hope is that when I do get back into creative projects, that it may be through writing, like just straight writing rather than writing and directing. But I really don't know either because you never know anything. So
Colin, I have one final question for you. Today would have been the late, great Robin Williams' birthday. He guest starred on Whose Line Is It Anyway? And I was always wondering if you guys were a little bit nervous, as professional as all of you are and as good as all of you are. You were sharing the stage with the master. And I was always kind of wondering what was going through your head as you were up there with Robin Williams live on Whose Line Is It Anyway? I was kind of curious if you could indulge me.
Scenes from a hat. It's for all of you. Now, before every show, we ask the audience to write different suggestions down for stuff.
What's the dead rabbit for?
My old career.
Yeah.
So we ask the audience to write down different suggestions for things that they like to see. We take the good ones, put them in the hat, and see how many of these guys can think of, starting with unlikely superheroes.
I'm paranoid. God.
Inappropriate anecdotes on a celebrity talk show.
So I said, "Get off me, Grandma, I'm done."
And then I'm watching through the window, and there's Robin and his grandmother.
World's worst subject for an interpretive dance.
Impotence is a horrifying thing.
Things you don't expect to hear when you put your ear to a seashell.
Who's your daddy? I'm gonna have to write you a ticket for that shirt because it is crazy what you're wearing.
Right.
You know what's wrong? It looks like Mogan David said, "I give
Fashion
up."
consultant.
Yes.
That's the police. Angry fashion consultant who's insulting me.
What Robin Williams is thinking right now.
I have a career. What the hell am I doing?
I think the overriding thing was just a incredible excitement. I mean, obviously he was someone who was an inspiration to us all, who we all loved. Ryan had worked with him before Whose Line. And when he came on set, I mean, he was an Oscar winner. And he was what you want your heroes to be. He immediately just became one of the gang. He knew within 5 minutes all of the crew's names, which I still don't know. Yeah, just gave his all and was just a joy to be with. It truly is. It truly was one of the best moments on Whose Line, being able to work with him and get to know him even just a little bit.
I had the great pleasure of meeting him myself, so he was wonderful to meet as well. And yeah, I thought I would ask you. Thank you so much for indulging me with that as well. Thank you so much, both of you, for chatting with me here on Ultrasonic Film. I really do appreciate it. And again, please check out Magnetosphere. And thanks again. And I hope to chat with you guys again very, very soon.
thank you so much.